Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do some stuff to the 984 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. The ignition stuff we talked about in the last video. The ignition coil, the battery terminals, the plug wires and spark plugs, and the radiator cap, or not the radiator cap, the distributor cap, and the rotor under it. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and unplug the battery. I'm going to completely remove it just to get it out of the way for now. So that's what it looks like now. We're gonna get the tie down off and undo all the cables, and we're going to replace this whole section here and here, and cut these and unscrew these and put new ends on it that aren't beaten to death. Alright, now as you see, the battery is out, battery tie down off and gone out of the way. So now here, I'm going to unbolt that to get those eyes off of that. Same here, we're going to cut both of these, and we have some brass eyes that are going to go on those two wires to go on the new terminals. After that, we have, as you can see down here, that is the ignition coil. So it has a bolt here and then one directly under it. You probably can't see too well. It's directly under it. So we're going to remove those two. We're going to remove this wire, and see if you can see it right here. There's a small clip down here with two wires going into it. So we're going to remove that and get that out of the way so we can get the new one in there. Alright, we've finished up getting these on. Now we got these crimped, got these nice and tight here and here. Next, we're going to get down here and undo that clip off the ignition coil right there. Let's see. Yep, and there it is. And I kind of push it off to the side a little bit there. Remove that. Kind of get it out of the way, and then get that bolt, and yeah, I still can't really see it. The one right under it. If you can see where my finger is right there. Get those two out and get that coil out and get the new one in. Alright, now we got the new one in there. We got it bolted back in place, and we got the rear clip here plugged back in. We're going to leave that off for now because we are going to replace this, so there's no real point in putting it back on at the moment. And next we're going to move back to the distributor here. That's where it is on the 5.2, and get back around there. We're going to label everything and then start pulling those plug wires off. Alright, so starting from here, we're going to label the spark plug wires. On this side we will do 2, 4, then 6 and 8 down there. On the other side we will do 1, 3, 5 and 7, and we will trace them back and number the ends on that side and mark where they are on the distributor as well, so we don't get them all mixed up. Alright, so now we have our wires labeled. That Phillips head screw you see right there, that's going to need to come out on one side of the distributor, and there's another on this side. I can get the picture down in there, right there. So one on each side, and then we'll get the cap off and get the rest of it labeled so we'll know how to get the new one set up. Alright, so we have the old wires and distributor cap out here. Now we're going to get back in here. If I can get, yeah, you can kind of see it. The rotor on the distributor cap should just pull straight up and come off, and then we can replace it with the new one. Here is the old one. It just pulls straight up, like I said, and the other one is going to go in the same position this one came out in, and just push it straight back down. The new rotor is down there and on. Next, we're going to get the new cap here put in place and screwed down, And then we have everything labeled on the other cap, so we can just look at our new wires and get them routed back there and attached. Now I got the new distributor cap labeled with my terrible handwriting, but it's good enough. So now we're going to screw it in this way here with that black piece more toward the passenger side over there. So 8 on the left, 6 on the right, and then we're going to go straight in like that, screw it down, and then we will start getting the plug wires put on in the places they go. Alright, the new distributor cap is in place. For this, I really recommend a stubby screwdriver like this. A longer one is going to be really hard to get down in there, and you can't really get a good angle on it, so definitely get a stubby if you got one. Here you see the new plug wires are labeled with my beautiful handwriting, and now we are going to get them back here and start putting them where they go, routing them over to each side of the block, and then we can get to the spark plugs next. Just as a note, before we start really plugging these into the back of the distributor back there, I'm going to put a dab of this inside of each of the boots before we snap them in. Just keeps it sealed and protects it, and makes it a little easier so it doesn't seize to it if you ever have to pull them back off. Alright, so now we're just getting the spark plugs out. I'm using a swivel down there just to give myself a little more range of motion. I can move the ratchet a little bit more. Definitely don't have to, it just makes it easier to me. Alright, we have the passenger side out, the even side. So now we're going to go ahead and put the new ones in. Going to put our dielectric grease on the new ones here, and then going to get those back down in there. Go ahead and put our plugs on. Then we'll start on the driver's side. Another thing we can't forget to do is to gap our plugs to 0.035 on each one, just to make sure they are at the right gap. Okay, if I can get this thing to focus, there we go. As you can see, they were pretty cruddy, have junk all over it. So hopefully after all of this, it will run much better without the misfiring and stuttering that happen occasionally. You can see it's pretty dark outside now, so I got the driver's side done as well, and the plug wires all routed and on, but I'm gonna wait to put the battery in back in the morning, and then we'll fire her up. Alright, so according to the weather forecast, tomorrow I will not be able to do this in the morning, and I was planning on driving this tomorrow due to the weather, so we're gonna have to go ahead and finish it up. So first we are going to pull the battery tray out. So you can see it's broken right there. So it's got 2 bolts over there, 1 down there, and there was another one up and down there. So previous owner was nice enough to include this extra one he had with the vehicle, so we're gonna get that in first before we get the battery back in. Alright, so now we have that out. It was a total of 5 screws or bolts, and then this hose that attaches to the bottom. Let's see, right there, I guess so. Can vent or battery acid can come out, or I'm not exactly sure why, but it's hooked up there to that hose. So now we're going to put the other one in right here, same exact way we just got that one out. Now we have that back in place and bolted in with both functioning tie-down mounts working instead of one being broken off right there. That'll keep the battery from moving around a good bit so the terminals don't get beaten up again. The battery tie down is now secured. The battery is going nowhere now. That one holds the battery much better. Now it's just time to get the battery connected, and then we're going to turn this sucker over. Alright, and we got her all snugged down. And obviously she is running, so looks like I got everything put back together right and in the correct order. So unfortunately, while it was idling really well in the video there, it did not fix the problem I was having after the vehicle warmed up a bit of the kind of stalling, misfiring issue. So we will be moving on to the next stages, which will be the map sensor and the throttle positioning sensor. And we're going to go ahead and do both of those at the same time because they're right next to each other and they're not that expensive. So let's go ahead and knock them both out at the same time. So tune in next time for that. And as always, thank you for watching us here at the Shop Worldwide. As always, add some comments down there. Let us know what you think, what we could improve on, and what you think we should do next. See you later.